Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you guys are well. So, I do have a word for a group of God's people, okay? Oh my goodness. I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to articulate this word. However, you guys do remember that last week or the week before that, I was talking to you guys about the book of Exodus, okay? So, we're in a season right now where God is bringing groups of his children to their restoration. The Lord gave me confirmation about 2 months, okay? The month of May and the month of November. These are the months where there's going to be heavy restoration. Some of you guys, your restoration is going to take place in May, and some of you guys, your restoration will actually take place in November, okay? So everyone's restoration is going to be different, but these are the 2 months that the Lord gave me, okay? Now, this part of the word is kind of heavy, but I have to be obedient. So this morning, the Lord said, angel of death. Okay. Now, this is not to put fear in you. This is not for you to be paranoid or have anxiety. No, the Lord made it very clear that his children are covered. Okay. The reason why the Lord said the angel of death, here's why. Because in the book of Exodus, the angel of death came on the land, and the angel of death was actually a warning from God to Pharaoh. Okay. Pharaoh did not release the Israelites. The Lord gave instructions to the Israelites that they should mark their doors with lamb blood. The angel of death comes on the land, they're going to pass the homes that have the marking on the door. That is basically like the seal. The angel of death passed these homes. It was Pharaoh's people that had to go through the consequences pertaining to that happening. Okay. Now, many of you guys, you're going to feel like something's going on because God has already shown you in the spirit. So you may just feel like something is shifting. You may feel like something feels strange. Okay. And many of you guys, you'll know that something's going on. Either the Lord has told you something about the angel of death, or you may have been having dreams pertaining to that. Loved ones that passed away, you're seeing them in your dreams, or you're seeing something pertaining to the angel of death, or you may have been feeling like something's just really heavy in your spirit, like you just feel like something is off. Okay, I want to confirm to you guys again, the Lord said you are protected. Okay, of course we have a responsibility as God's people to pray over our families, to pray over our relatives, to pray over people. Okay, so of course still pray over your family, still pray over your household, but I want to give you the confirmation the Lord said you are protected. But the reason why God mentioned this, and the reason why many people who have also confirmed to me this is happening to them, they're having all these dreams and stuff like that, is because remember, before Pharaoh actually released the Israelites, right? The angel of death visiting the land is actually what led Pharaoh to comply and release the Israelites, okay? Now, we're in a season right now that is very sensitive, okay? Which is why many of you guys, God has instructed you to abruptly leave your hometown, abruptly leave that job, abruptly, and those friendships and those relationships, whatever God has told you to do, that has been like a major shift, a major change in your life. And I told you guys this in another video. It is because God is prepping you. It is because God is taking you to your inheritance. Remember, when the angel of death came on the land, right, and the Israelites were all protected and they marked their doors, after whatever happened, what happened? Pharaoh released the Israelites. And what happened when he released the Israelites? He released them to allow them to head on to their inheritance. Okay. So even though Pharaoh went after them again after that, he still released them after the angel of death visited Egypt. Okay. So many of you guys, God said you are protected, and this is why you had to abruptly leave certain situations, or you had to abruptly comply to these changes that the Lord has instructed you to comply to, because these changes are leading you to your inheritance. Similar to how the Israelites had no idea where God was going to take them, where God was leading them. All they had to do was comply to the instructions that God gave Moses. That's similar to what many of you guys are going through right now. You may not know where you're heading, what's next, what's in store. You just know that God is giving you instructions and you have to comply to these instructions. Many of you guys, your lives were saved by you complying to these instructions, okay? By you leaving that hometown, by you leaving that city, by you leaving that relationship. What you don't understand is your life was actually saved when you complied to these instructions. And not only your life, but your family's life was saved when you complied to these instructions, okay? So the reason why it's heavy right now, and again, those of you guys that felt like something was off, you'll know because the dreams that you're having, like I said, you may have had all these dreams. There is something definitely going on, but the Lord said to tell you guys that you guys are indeed covered, and still continue to pray and still continue to claim and receive this covering from God. But you guys are sealed and you guys are protected, okay? And you are on your way to your inheritance. There is an end. There is an end to whatever spirit that has been keeping many of God's people bound. Basically, there is an end to that Pharaoh spirit. Doesn't mean that something bad is going to happen to them. No, it just means that that season or the years that you were in oppression, the years that you felt binded, the years that you were stagnant, that is coming to an end. Remember, before Pharaoh released the Israelites who were in slavery for years and centuries, the angel of death visited the land, and that's what led him to comply and to release the Israelites. Many of you guys, you have been released from whatever it is that was oppressing you, okay? And you guys are heading into your inheritance. Again, you are sealed and you are protected, okay? I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.